Hello Pisces, I am Ulrich, I'm a Lenormand card reader, and today we will do the financial card reading for the sign of Pisces for the month of November. As always, we will do 4 card readings for the sign of Pisces, and these are based on the natural elements in your astrological chart, or for some of you on your time of birth. These 4 basic elements are air, earth, water, and fire. The 4 objects that you always see on my table are directly connected to those elements. So you choose or you pick one that you think relates most to your personality, or you choose one you feel most comfortable with. This object of your choice, it should or it will relate the best to your current situation. However, if the video and the related object does not match your first choice, please check the other videos that are directly connected in the same session. I'm sure one of the 4 will fit you. Anyway, the matches represent the fire element, the stone represents the earth element, the aerosol sprayer represents the air element, and the shell represents the water element. So Pisces, here we go for your card reading for November 2021. Hello Pisces, and welcome to the shell or the water group for your financial card reading for November 2021. As I can see here in a quick look, you're in a quite positive situation for now. The first card that we see here is the card of love. What does this card mean? Well, probably it means that you love your partner, your children, and the people around you, your friends. But the other side is that you probably spoil them. You want to show your affection by spoiling them, and probably you do this by buying them presents, or maybe even you take them out to restaurant on several occasions. You want to express your feelings in general by buying them gifts or taking them out for dinner. And this maybe also on year basis, if for instance it's their birthday, you're searching for the rare pearl in the store for that make their eyes shine again. But this card tells you, rather than shopping around in malls or looking for ways how to please your loved ones, actually the most precious gift that we have in our current society is time. So here this card tells us, instead of buying presents, maybe you should reevaluate this, and instead for buying presents, maybe you should take some time off with the people that are dear to you. Show your interest by valuing them, by spending your time with them, and not with money. The best memories that we share in our life and that we carry with us are those related to anecdotes in past activities that we had with our children, our loved ones, or the people close to us, and it's not coming from toys or objects. So this card tells you to be gentle with yourself and see the positive impact that it will have if you spend time with the people around you, and the positive impact, of course, it will have on your wallet. The second card is the card of congratulations. So it means that you are in quite a good financial situation. You have probably progressed in the last years financially. Maybe you're rather carefree now for the coming month or the months. You are now the captain on your own ship. You're sailing towards calm waters here. This is what we are seeing here. But we know the battle is never over, and it may never be over. Every day we must sail course. And here this card tells us you still need to improve yourself, and you can improve yourself. So take a few minutes of your time here. And also you need to respect the work, the efforts you've done for coming this far. So you need to compare your current situation with that of yesterday, 1 month ago, 5 years ago. So this card tells you to smile and be happy. It's time to take a break. This card tells you you're in a good, comfortable situation. Give your time some rest, regain your breath, and appreciate the road that you have been traveling so far. Probably it's been not an easy road, it's been a long road, and every problem brought you where you are now to the finish line. You're close to the finish line, or you're better off now. Anyway, this card tells you to savor today, celebrate those accomplishments, whatever they may be. give yourself the gift of a well-deserved break and applaud for yourself. The last card that we are seeing here is the cards of good and bad debts, but I'm assuming here there are no bad debts. For some people in this group, it means that if you have debts on certain credit cards, you need to take care of that. Meaning some credit card companies have like very high interest. For instance, if you're a little bit below zero or a certain amount below zero, they charge you very big amounts. And that is what this card is about. So if you have cards that are not out balanced and are not out zero, you should check them out, because some of these companies are really sharks. So it's good if you balance them out. Maybe you forgot about something. Maybe that's why this card is here. If you have cards that you use that have high interests, maybe if you have several credit cards, you should compare them with each other. And if there are who actually charge you a lot, you should reconsider for getting these things out of your wallet and go for more cheaper companies, because some of them are really very expensive, especially if you go below zero. But here it's also about positive. That's what our positive debts. Well, positive debts are the debts on our house. As we know now, property is very valuable. There are very few things now in our life that have value, and property, of course, is one of them. So this card tells you, if you want to invest in your house with savings that you have, you should. This is a good time for making investments, and your money is not lost. Why? Because you invested in your house, and if you invested in your house, the value of your property goes up, and later on, maybe you want to change house, and the value is gone up with the changes that you made, and at the same time, you deduct the debts that you have on that house from your taxes. So it's a double win-win situation here we have here. But overall, this is a very good card reading that you have here. I hope you get a little bit wiser out of it. Anyway, I want to thank you for your time you spend here watching this video. If this video don't fit you at all, please check out the other videos that are connected here. Anyway, I want to thank you for your time, and we see each other in the other videos. Bye-bye for now. Hello Pisces, and welcome to the Air Group for your financial card reading for November 2021. The first card that we see here is the card of immediate satisfaction. What does that mean? Well, this means that happy doesn't come with the purchase of a fleeting object. Maybe this group or the people in this group are looking for the feeling of fulfillment that comes with buying a fleeting object. But if you're honest to yourself, if you buy something, a pair of shoes, some perfume, whatever makes you happy, a small electronic gadget, how long does that last? If you're honest, you know this is not happening, that it's not lasting very long. And then we need to think about it. Was this really worth your money? Society tells us, or consumption society tells us that or teaches us in order to be happy that we must consume more and more. According to TV commercials, it's not possible for ourselves to be happy if we don't buy, if we are not well dressed, if we don't have the latest dream electronics, the latest laptop, the latest cell phone. It's unthinkable that we should be fulfilled, and also probably we need to add the car of the year if we can. We work hard every day, and in order to constantly obtain that feeling of satisfaction, we buy more. We spend more, and we need to work harder. So this multiplies, and also then we add the small pleasures that we do, and it don't stop. So this card tells you to pull yourself together, be aware, and try to find a satisfaction for yourself that don't cost money. Learn to transform this instant gratification with a long-during happiness. Maybe you can save for something for yourself on the long run. Maybe there's a trip that you want to take for a long time. Maybe there's a laptop that you're already longing for a long time, and that costs a lot of money. Maybe you can put all these small amounts together, and you can buy yourself something that is really practical and that satisfies you on the long run, and that really helps you and is practical and brings you more happiness. The second card that we are having here is the card of proportions. So it means that everything in life is relative, and we need to post our what we earn in relationship to what we spend. We need to put everything in context here. A month, for instance, for giving an example, a monthly payment for someone's home is different for a family who lives in a poor country on one salary and who has 3 children. Then it's for people who have 2 salaries, who have 1 child, and who have a low rent. €2 or $2 for them can mean the difference between eating and not eating, and for a high-heeled family, it's a totally different story. The real cost for a computer is the same. If you have less money, it's not the same for a person who has a low salary compared to a person who has a high salary. Anyway, it's a very difficult concept, easy concept to grasp here that we are explaining here. And this card here tells us it's who is counting and who keeps charge of proportionate balances. So this card wants you to put everything in balance according to your personal importance. See where you spend money, see where you don't need to spend money. This card tells you to relativize your current expenses and educate yourself more, so you can improve yourself financially more. So here, added to this card, there's like a trick here to take a piece of paper, make categories of importance, write down what is important for you, less important, and what is luxury. And then you make the calculations and you will see which category is out of proportion, and then you see where is your problem. If you adjust that, you will be able to save more, and you can spend less, and your salary probably will be more than sufficient. So this card tells you to make the big picture. For some people in this group, this card means that they probably live beyond their means. Maybe they live on credit cards, and it's probably related to the next card that we are having, that they are not paying attention to small amounts of money or small bills that they are spending here. A lot of us don't pay attention on small amounts of money that we are spending, but there's a lot of people who are also have difficulties to meeting ends at the end of the month. So we need to see here which financial impact this has on you as a person, especially on the long run. For instance, we buy small things, they are not expensive, and we don't think about it anymore. This card tells you to give it your sincere attention, take a critical look at those small amounts. Also, don't go in on discounts like everything is discount, everything is very well discounted, things like that. It blinds you financially here. If you don't go into that, it brings you financial clarity here. These small amounts, they mind up. So every coin this card tells us is from great importance. So next time, if you visit a store here, rate what you have bought, look at the small articles, and if you look in your basket, check if all the things that you have there are really necessities there that you have there. If there are things you don't need, maybe you need to re-evaluate the situation. Maybe you don't need these things, and you can save the money for something that you really need. This card tells you to re-evaluate and give back the small amounts of money their moment of glory. In doing so, you will quickly amount to hundreds, and these, of course, the hundreds amount into thousands, and we can put this in our savings, and we can use this for taking a trip, for whatever we need later in life, for saving for our pension, or maybe for your children who need something in school. This laying here is about keeping things in balance. Anyway, Pisces, I hope you get a little wiser with this philosophical card reading. If you did, please subscribe to my channel. If this card reading don't fit you at all, please check out the other 3 card readings that are following me here. Thank you for your time, and please check out also the love readings we do now, and the extensive card readings, of course, that we do each month for the sign of Pisces. Anyway, thank you for your time. Thank you for watching, and we see each other in my other videos. Thank you, and bye-bye. Hello, Pisces, and welcome to the Stone Group for your financial card reading for November 2021. The first card here is the card about awards, or we reward ourselves. Everybody likes to have a reward for himself, especially if we work hard. But this card is about rewards that don't cost money. What does that mean? Well, for instance, if you go out and you live in a cold area and you come home, you drink a glass warm of milk with honey, it will give you a certain satisfaction. You go out, it's very hot, you come home, you drink a glass of iced tea with a lot of ice cubes, it will satisfy you. And that is what this card is about. It's about that we give ourselves rewards that cost very few, or if we can, nothing. Why? Because if we do so, we search for rewards that cost very few, we will save money. And this card wants you to save money. It wants you to learn a few tricks here. There are little things in life that we have for treating ourselves, but still there are a few. For instance, we can also take a walk in nature. This card tells us we must not overdo it. You have probably done some efforts for coming this far in your life, and this card wants you to move still on financially. This is what this is about. You deserve a reward, of course, but maybe it's not wise to spend money for it. So this card wants to make you smile by buying that you gratify yourself by giving yourself a reward that don't cost money. For instance, you can take a walk, you can read, you can listen to music, you can watch a movie online. Whether it's idleness or you go for a walk, it's fine. You can rent or you can get a CD in the library, whatever makes you satisfied, as long as you have no expenses on it. This is what this card is about. Just find out what makes you tick and what costs very few money, and you will find this rewarding double why you spend no money, and you have the happiness of your reward. The second card that we have here is the card of luck. This is a positive card here. It says, of course, that money don't bring happiness, but as we know, we all need money. We have our basic needs, and as these needs are fulfilled, like if we have shelter and food, then our basics are already covered. Anyway, there are, of course, a lot of things that we don't need. We don't need to buy every latest gadget, every latest phone. We don't need the latest fashion for new shoes. Of course, everybody would like to have more. We like to travel more. We like to spend more. But this card tells you that in the box for feeling complete, that is not filled with buying gadgets or with rewards that are fleeting. So this card tells you to take a break. Think about your pursuit of happiness. Some people associate this with the life of a king. Other people are happy with fewer things. So this card wants you to position yourself where you are. You need to think about this. This card tells, if money were so strongly connected with happiness, then we need to think, why are so many of the super rich on the world very unhappy or even sometimes depressed? So money is essential, we know this, but once our basics are covered, there come other things in play here for being happy. And probably you will not find this in buying yourself gifts. Maybe you could find this in people that are around you, people that love you and enjoy small things, small presents that we are having, like we saw here, a glass of tea, a glass of milk here, but probably the real love that is close to you, that is probably the real present here that we are about to find, and maybe we already found it. The last card is the card about paying cash. This card probably means that this group is always paying, or a lot of them are paying with credit card, like most of all. But this card tells you, if you want to save money, it wants to teach you a trick, and paying cash is one of those tricks. A lot of people look at you when you say I'm paying cash these days. But if we see and we want to get a better control over our finances, it's better to pay cash. Why? For instance, if you go to the machine, you put the money in your wallet, you're in front of the cashier, and you get the money out of your wallet and you pay the cashier, it gives you like a pain impulse, because you see that the money is disappearing out of your wallet and you realize it immediately. The difference with the credit card is it's a card, you put it there and the money is off. You have no feeling anymore. You don't do nothing. And there is a big difference here between seeing the banknotes disappearing and not having any feeling with the credit cards. If you pay cash for a while, you will easily make the connection between these, and there's a big difference between those two methods. And most people, if they pay cash, they avoid unnecessities. Of course, it's no coincidence that traders, banks, they want to eliminate the paper money. Why? Well, they support a society where consumption is the highest good. So virtual payment for them is essential. It's a dream because you lose track of your expenses. But this card tells you to do exactly the opposite. Pay cash for your purchases for 1 month and you will see there is a difference. You will re-evaluate your money, and this card asks you if you are up for that challenge. So just try, you lose nothing by paying cash. Anyway, Pisces, for the Stone Group, this is all for now. I hope you get a little bit wiser out of this philosophical card reading. If you did, please subscribe to my channel. Thank you for doing so. If this card reading don't fit you at all, please check out the other 3 card readings that are connected here. Anyway, I want to thank you for your time. Please check out also the love card readings and of course the extensive readings that we do every month for the sign of Pisces, but that is then the Lenormand card readings. Anyway, thank you for your time and see you in my other videos. Bye-bye. Hello, Pisces, and welcome to the Matches or the Fire group for your financial card reading for November 2021. The first card that we see here is the card that we give ourselves rewards, or we compensate ourselves for our hard work that we do every day. Anyway, this card wants you to think about the compensations or the rewards that you give yourself. We have all little treats that we can reward ourselves with, but this card, it wants you to help to give you rewards that don't cost money or very few. This card tells you that you've come far in your life and it wants you to even progress more. It wants you to persevere more in the future. It's important now because you come far in your life and you must not overdo it now. You must not destroy certain efforts that you do in your life. Of course, we deserve all rewards, we do, but the question is it wise to do and buy these rewards for us? So this card asks you to think today about compensation that will make you smile without bleeding your wallet. How can we do this? Well, for instance, we go out and it's very hot outside and we come back and we drink a glass of iced tea with a lot of ice cubes and we are very happy. We are in heaven. It's very cold outside. We come home, we drink a glass of milk with honey and we have the same effect. These things don't cost money, or very few they do. Anyway, this is about giving yourself a reward without spending money. This card wants you to find things that make you happy and compensate yourself that make you smile without that you're bleeding your wallet. So it's best here that if you can, that you do things like you take a walk, you read music, you get some book in the library, you get some music in the library on the CDs. Just do all things that don't cost money, whether it's idle or activity. You can go for a run. This is what all is included. You need to find out, this card tells us here, what makes you tick and what makes you happy without costing any money. Anyway, you will find rewards enough here that encourage you without financially break you. The second card also, it's about that every gesture that we do in our life counts. Maybe before you had certain difficulties in your life, maybe you are now more outbalanced. And here is what is here says here, this card is about also about the phenomenon of bank cards, plastic money. It gives us the impression that money is no longer important for us. But of course it is. Every small amount of money counts, because if we don't have it, we realize how important it is. But if we spend small amounts of money, for instance, with our credit card, the brain does not calculate this. It's like we don't spend. For instance, if we pay cash, we actually take the money out of our wallet and then we have like a pain that is coming to our brain, or we see the money actually disappearing out of our wallets and we are realizing. There's a big difference here between the two ways of paying. Some people get in severe problems by always spending small amounts with credit cards, by spending money. Also, sometimes they didn't have buy credit cards. So this card wants you to realize that spending small amounts of money mounts up to very large amount at the end of the year. Anyway, this card asks you, if you spend a lot of small amounts to get yourself back in hand, stop bleeding your own wallet and do payments by cash if you can, for controlling yourself more. Also, it asks you to stop these insignificant small amounts of money, small presents that you buy for yourself, like maybe a pair of shoes or something insignificant, or a small electronic gadget, because these small amounts, they amount up to a lot. So it's through a series of things that we don't pay or we don't buy that we get back on our feet and we get more savings. So this card asks you to control that area. Then the last card is the card that tells us that time is not our friend. What does this mean? Well, whatever we do, if we have certain debts, for instance, on credit cards, if you leave those debts open, if you are below zero on certain credit cards, it does not improve your situation. Why? Well, these credit cards that always gives you money, they don't give that money for free. They charge you enormous interests, especially if you have several cards here. You will see there's one card in your wallet and it always gives you money. But if you look at your, at the end of the month, if you get your, the notes from your bank on your laptop and you check and you see how much you pay, because you were below zero, you are surprised. But maybe you never check, but you should check this. You should check how much you pay on an open amount on a card that is not balanced. And then you can compare from one card to another. And the card that always gives you money, that's the card that charges you most. So this card tells you to act, to get your act together and make yourself more financially secure. This card asks you to make a radical change. And if you have certain habits that your credit cards would be below zero, you should change these habits, this card tells us. It also wants you to take a piece of paper and a pencil, analyze your situation, write down what you have spent, and you can see then how to get back your situation under control. But just remember, if your cards are below zero, this has severe effects on your balance account. These amounts are really serious. These credit cards are real sharks. So be aware of this. Check your bank notes that you are getting every month from your bank, by post or by internet. Check what is the amounts that are discounted you, because it's very important, because we lose a lot of money with that kind of things. Anyway, I hope you get a little bit wiser with these card readings. If you did, please subscribe to my channel. Thank you for doing so. If this card reading don't fit you at all, please check out the other 3 card readings that are following me here. You can also check now the short love card readings that we do every month for the sign of Pisces, and of course the extended Lenormand card readings that we do every month for your sign. Anyway, I want to thank you for your time, and we see each other, I'm sure, in my other videos. Thank you, and bye-bye for now.